Welcome to my views and news. Three news stories from Ethiopia. Firstly, Ethiopian government issued a statement today through its communication ministry. The statement is a warning from the government to extremist organized groups. Which extremist organized groups are operating in Ethiopia? What is the government's message for these groups? Secondly, viewers, Alamata, where a protest was due to be held on a Sunday. Protest was held in Alamata on Sunday. Details for you. And thirdly, another party has been formed in Tigray. Or the party claims to be from Tigray. It has applied for registration. New parties are being formed in Tigray, opposition parties, all are challenging TPLF. And these parties have been formed along regional lines. A few weeks ago, an opposition party was formed in Tigray, which named itself as Enderta, Tigray Enderta Party. The new party formed yesterday is also from a region. It wants to represent not entire Tigray but a zone of Tigray. Firstly, viewers, Ethiopian government's communication ministry issued a statement today which is basically a message, a warning to some groups operating in Ethiopia. The government says that in 2018, journey of change started. When PM Abiy took office in 2018, that was the start of era of change. And after that, several key changes in political, social, and economic fields were registered. But soon after the start of this era of change, conspiracies were hatched. War broke out. Thousands lost their lives. An attempt was made to undermine the era of change, to discourage the leaders of change. Almost quote unquote, I am sharing what government said. Then we'll analyze it as well. But the government managed to hold election, free, fair election. And a government was elected by the people of Ethiopia. Now, this government is the target of extremist organized groups. They want to topple this government. They are organized. They are using religion's card, ethnicity's card. They want to pit one group, one ethnic group, religious group against other groups in Ethiopia. That is how they want to achieve their political objectives. They want to achieve their political objectives through violence and chaos. Government has been showing restraint. It has been patient. But government won't give in. It will continue its law enforcement operations. Now, firstly, there is no mention of the names of the groups which are operating in Ethiopia, which want to topple the government. The statement only mentions some groups in Gambela, in BG, which have made peace with the government, Tigray as well. So which groups are the target of this statement? One group, and that is FAN. That is how I see this statement. This is another statement from the government, another warning from the government to Fano, Amhara region-based militias. And in this statement, there is no offer of talks. Government is not offering them to lay down arms to sit at the table. Government says it will continue the operations without naming the areas where operations being held. These days, operations being held mainly in Amhara. We've been in Oromia to the one of the targets of this statement could be Ola too. But these days, we're seeing that government's security operation is mainly centered in the Amhara region. So I think this message is for Fano, Amhara militias. And since government is not showing any flexibility in today's statement, it means that security operations in the Amhara region of Ethiopia will continue. And if talks collapse between Ola and Ethiopian government representatives, we could see start of similar operation in Oromia. So far, another warning from the government to Amhara Fano. Government acknowledged today that the groups are organized. It means Fano is not in a state of disarray now. By the way, this disbandment of Amhara Special Force has strengthened Fano. Fano factions were largely in a state of disarray, especially in Gajjam, Gondar. But when the Amhara government, federal government announced to disband special forces, Amhara Special Forces, hundreds of Amhara Special Force members, they joined Fano fighters. Some civilians as well. So this decision to disband ASF, it strengthened Fano fighters. Government is showing its resolve to continue the operation in Amhara. It means that no signs of any serious dialogue between the government and Amhara region-based armed groups. Secondly, a rally was held today in Alamata. I reported this morning that rally was going to be held in Alamata on Sunday. On Saturday, talks were held in Alamata between Alamata Mayor Hellu Abira and an Ethiopian General Ibrahim, where Alamata Mayor asked for permission. He wanted to organize a rally in Alamata. General Ibrahim permitted the rally. The rally was held today. Hundreds participated. What was the agenda? What were the slogans at the rally? Slogans were chanted for release of budget for Alamata, Raya, and secondly, participants chanted slogans for putting pressure upon the government to make decision about the status of Alamata Raya zone. It means that the people in Alamata, in Raya, who want to remain part of Amhara, not all of them, but those who want to remain part of Amhara, they fear that Tigray could take control of Alamata. Tigray forces, Tigray administration could enter Koram Alamata. That is why they keep on taking out these rallies. This is second or third rally in Alamata in the past few weeks. Thirdly, viewers, new parties are being formed in Tigray. Parties are not based in Tigray, they are based in Addis Ababa. But they want to work in Tigray. Opposition parties, all new parties are lashing out at TPLF, accusing TPLF of monopolizing over Tigray's politics. This new party's name is Tambian Democratic Party. Tambian Democratic Party of Ethiopia is the name of this Tambian Ethiopian Democratic Party. Tambian is a zone of Tigray. Central Tigray, if you remember, the first round of fighting between Tigray forces and Ethiopian army from November 2020 till June 2021, Back then it was Tambian which saved Tigray, because Tigray fighters, they suffered losses, they retreated from main cities, towns. They took refuge in Tambian. This mountainous area served as the stronghold, the camp of Tigray fighters, and from there they managed to again spread and push ENDF and Eritrean military out of Tigray. So Tambian served as the stronghold of Tigray fighters. And in Derg era as well, when Tigray fighters were fighting Ethiopian government, federal government, this area, Tambian, was the center of their struggle. And this party claims that people of Tambian are suffering. The Tambian people sacrificed a lot, but no development. Budget is not spent on Tambian. That is why this party wants to represent Tambian people. It criticized TPLF in its statement today. The party has applied for registration to National Extremist Board of Ethiopia. A few weeks ago, Enderta party was formed in Tigray. Enderta is another Tigray's zone. So these regional parties are being formed. Someone is backing the formation of these parties. Some groups, some individuals, they are trying to create splits in Tigray. They want regional parties to rise in Tigray to challenge TPLF. They want divisions within Tigray, that one zone's residents should question TPLF, that TPLF neglected them. Basically, not good for Tigray's unity. Political parties formed along regional, ethnic, religious lines create more divisions. They don't lead to unity and cohesion in a region or a country. Especially keeping in view that fault lines are already very visible in Tigray. Ethnic fault lines, religious fault lines, regional fault lines. And now we're seeing the formation of parties along regional lines in Tigray to create more divisions. Thank you for watching.